human animal who would rather be loved than be alone, rather be free than be enslaved, rather live than be killed?
Hey everyone, this is Klaus from Plant Based News. So today we're going to be looking at the most startling vegan TV clips. If you're not familiar, vegans are traditionally portrayed as weak and fringe on TV.
I've been a vegan for more than 14 years, and I can honestly say I've never felt fitter or more relaxed.
But more recently, the image of vegans has changed. For example, the release of Carnage a couple of years ago, which was commissioned and broadcast on the BBC.
OK, beef requires 28 times more land than pork or chicken to produce. It is the single biggest driver of global deforestation. Compared to vegetables alone, it requires 160 times more land and produces 11 times more greenhouse gases. It's time to stop the production of beef.
Anyway, we haven't even gotten to the video properly yet. Hope you enjoy our top TV moments. First up is comedian Nathan Ranganathan, broadcast on BBC Two in the UK.
I am a vegan is something that people watching this, as soon as they hear me say that, will go, oh, I knew he was going to say it. How do you know a vegan's a vegan? Because they'll tell you. People hate vegans. The reason they hate vegans is because they think we're humourless. They think that we think we're better than non-vegans. They think that we're always banging on about it. And all of those things are true. I am better than you if you're not vegan. In terms of my ethical decisions, I'm so much better than you. I'm better for the planet, I'm better for the animals. There's nothing worse about me, apart from I'm slightly irritating to have around for dinner.
At number 11 is a debate between vegan advocate Athling Ed and a butcher discussing the environmental impacts of raising animals for food.
Quick response. Created a documentary called Land of Hope and Glory online, which talks all about what happens to animals in the UK. But let me respond, please. Okay. So there's two studies. The first study was a 5-year study conducted by the University of Oxford. It's the most comprehensive study that's ever been conducted exploring the relationship between the environment. Was this the one that was run by a vegan? But he wasn't vegan when he started, but he was vegan when he finished it because of what he found out. And what he discovered...
You may be after this conversation, John, as well. Not very likely.
But it wasn't the first time that Ed was put up against representatives of the meat and dairy industry.
And if you think of methane coming from ruminants, from animals, it's just part of a natural gaseous cycle that this planet has learnt to adapt with, has adapted to cope with over thousands and thousands of years. And if
Are we coping with it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, if we look at what the United Nations is telling us, we look at what some of the most prestigious and respected bodies are telling us, the Lancet, we're looking at the University of Oxford, we're looking at Harvard, we're looking at the Nature Journal, the Science Journal, all of these studies and all these institutions are saying very clearly that actually animal agriculture is the leading driver of so many environmental problems that we're facing, and it's bigger than just methane emissions.
If the farmer says he loves his sheep, I'll groan. Do you?
I absolutely do love my sheep.
He goes on, you can't deliberately breed baby animals specifically to die in a state of terror and say you love them. Hang on, let me finish. People naturally eat meat, but just be honest about where it comes from, pain and terror. How do you respond to that?
Absolutely not. I would argue that sheep are almost in this world when we're trying to find sustainability, sheep are almost the ultimate in renewable technology.
Let's move on to number 10, which is between Joey Carbstrong and TV host Philip Schofield, where things got a little bit heated over the terminology Joey was using to describe the process of slaughter and insemination.
I think that the use of these words, whilst...
So you're playing word games. Let's talk about the act. Let's talk about the act. You're taking an animal's life against their will. What is that? Is that moral?
Animals kill animals, though.
Yeah, but so how does that... Animals rape each other in the wild, too. We cannot point to nature and say that that's moral, OK? We're a civilised society. To take someone's life against their will is savagery.
Actually, I think...
Would you agree? Do you think it's humane?
It's not my point. I'm just...
We've grown canine teeth.
Where?
Canine
Show me
teeth.
Yours. Well, they look very flat and blunt like a cow's
That's
teeth.
the molars at the back, but the canines were developed to chew meat.
It's unnecessary to eat meat to be healthy.
I developed teeth to do that. So why have I developed teeth to do that?
Just because you can eat an animal doesn't make it moral to do so, OK?
But it wasn't just Philip Schofield who was putting up a defence for eating animals. In 2018, Joey went up against a more notorious breakfast TV presenter.
A lot of people might be tempted to take up a more vegan-based diet, but they hate this kind of vegan terrorism that's going on.
Take the vegans out of the picture.
Milk is murder.
Take the vegans out of the picture.
Thing to say.
It's about the animals. Are you against animal cruelty?
I'm against animal cruelty.
Of course. It's not cruel to bolt
I'm against human cruelty.
Me too. I don't kill humans either, but to kill animals for a product we don't need is cruel.
Although Pierce started by making comments about dairy, the topic at hand, it wasn't long until we resorted to using ad hominem attacks.
So in September 2011, you were arrested when police found a loaded, sawn-off pump-action rifle.
Character attack.
No,
Has this got anything to do with the topic at hand?
Were you okay? It's
a character attack.
It's called a
on
fact.
my part.
It's called a fact.
Okay.
Were you found with a pump-action rifle down your trousers?
Would this be relevant if I was speaking up against dog abuse or child abuse?
I'm asking, I realise that veganism, it's not my thing, but I realise it's a growing thing.
It is. It's not your thing?
My problem is this kind of vegan
definitely not Piers'
terrorism that goes on.
He's against animal
where
cruelty, so
everyone
it is
that drinks milk, according to you, is a murderer.
No, not consciously. They don't know. But now you know what happens to animals in slaughterhouses so you can have milk in your coffee. And what are you going to do about it?
A lot of cows that get milk don't go to slaughterhouses.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
You don't know nothing about the industry, my friend.
At number 9, drum roll, Preacher Lawson.
A little about myself, I'm a vegan. Yes, I'm a vegan, which means I don't. Yeah, all right, thank you 3 vegans. All right, I appreciate it. So, a vegan, we don't eat animals, we don't eat meat or whatever, and the reason I decided to be a vegan is because I had a dog and I fell in love with my dog, and I was like, I can't eat my dog, you know, I can't. But we eat pigs, and guess what? Pigs are smarter than dogs. Pigs are smarter than chimpanzees, they're just ugly. And you can't eat something just because it's ugly, because if that's the case, some of y'all looking tasty tonight, all right? I'm being real.
At number 8, we have an advert published by Tesco in 2019 where they're showcasing their new range of meat-free sausages.
So, Chloe walks in from school.
Daddy,
She says,
I don't want to eat animals anymore.
I blooming love my meat, but not as much as I love my little girl. That's why we've made some changes to our old favourite, sausage casserole a la Carl. Now with meat-free Cumberlands, but still with my magic touch, cumin, coriander and a dollop of mango chutney. Just as tasty as it used to be.
Better, actually.
Food Love Stories, brought to you by Tesco.
This advert really highlighted the normalisation of plant-based products in society, but it wasn't long until pushback came from the meat and dairy industry, who were so frustrated they actually went on mainstream TV.
I just think that the wording in the advert was totally unnecessary. I mean, why not just have a little girl saying, I'm not really keen on eating meat anymore? It's quite a direct attack on my industry, and I do take offence to it.
But that appearance only helped promote the new meat-free products. I guess the saying is any publicity is good publicity, right? Anyway, we're on number 7, which goes to another TV ad, which was broadcast on one of the most popular TV shows in Israel, reaching a massive 35% of the population.
יפה, מאמי. בולה עוגת תפוחים שלי.
מצאתי. בשר טלה?
מאמי, אני רוצה טרי. וואי, טרי פה.
כן, זה נראה לי טוב. חבר, יש לך בשר טלה טרי?
אבל שיהיה טרי.
טלה, טרי בדרך.
יואו, נהייתי רעבה.
טרי. מה זה? טרי? לחלק או לארוז?
The advert was hugely successful and followed a few years after vegan advocate Tal Gebauer won Big Brother in Israel in 2014 and also used it as an opportunity to promote animal rights in the country.
He convinced everybody on the show to go vegan.
Not just everybody in the house, but 500,000 people in Israel changed their diet because of the Big Brother show.
Now for number 6, we have to tune into American cable TV and the Dr. Oz show, which featured Kip Anderson, the co-director of What the Health, and plant-based Dr. Garth Davis, which quickly turned into a shouting match.
And I will this is unbelievable because this is the most unscientific discussion I've ever had in my life.
Why don't we get,
am I on the doctors or am I on some kind of show? Seriously, guys, stop for 1 second. That is not science. That's a lie, Travis. And what you are doing is lying to this public, and that's why I got to treat them after.
No, I read everything on it, and then I read your quotes, and I disagree with you.
Our number 5 epic vegan TV moment racked up a massive 7 million views. After taking a vow of silence for a year,